Okay, the next topic is very important. It is managing the course. Right now, you are under important course information, hopefully, and you are watching the introduction to the course. In this section, you have a syllabus. You have a schedule, which you need to print. It has a place for you to check off once you have completed everything. It has the due dates or the week that those items are due. So it's very easy, okay? What I want you to do is print it out and post it somewhere, or take it and, of course, some of you are using calendars in Google. Add those dates in. Do that, do that week one, okay? Because week one is one of the easier weeks. In there, you also have how to communicate in the course, a rubric for the discussions, academic integrity. You also have information for an online course. If you've never taken one, that's helpful. You have the Reflections Interactive Notebook. I'm losing my train of thought. Reflections Interactive Notebook Entries. You have Module 1 up there right now, entries 1 through 8. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And you also have a template. It's a PowerPoint template that you can use for your Reflections Interactive Notebook. Okay? I'm going to try to push the envelope here and keep going with the reflections. The Reflections Interactive Notebook is something that I have been working on since the year 2000. In the year 2000, I had 3 different types of students. I had gifted and talented. I'm talking these kids had an IQ way, way above mine, okay? I had 3 classes of GT, gifted and talented. I had 1 class of ELL students, English Language Learners, which they also now call CLD, Culturally and Linguistically Diverse. These students were straight from Vietnam, China, you name it, all around the world, and they did not speak a lot of English. The last section that I had was ESE, which is Exceptional Student Education, dealing with kids that had learning disabilities. I did not know how to differentiate instruction. I did not know how to teach to such different populations. So I found an article by Stencil, who was a science teacher, who used a 2-sided notebook. One side was for explicit notes. One side was for students to make sense of those notes, to demonstrate that they understood. So I took the ball and ran with that. I made what I called a Reflections Interactive Notebook, which is kind of the same theory, where you have on one side of the notebook, you give students the explicit notes. Here are the notes on what is phonemic awareness. Hopefully you know what it is, but if you don't, you're going to learn. Then on the other side, the student makes sense of the information. You're demonstrating to the teacher that you understand it. This student used pictures because she's artistic. Okay, so how you respond will differ. Some of you will draw pictures, some of you will use bullets, some of you will write sentences. I had students in the 8th grade who composed music when they were trying to show that they understood inferencing. And they said, okay, in my book that I'm reading, this is what's happening, and I can infer this because of this, and here's the music that goes along with it. I had students that wrote poetry to demonstrate that they understood making predictions, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is it uses Gardner's multiple intelligences, allows students to construct their own knowledge, but also it demonstrates to the students or to the teacher that the student understands the concept or the content. You'll get the hang of it. I'm going to help you, but this is one of your key assignments. Why? Because the state of Florida says that you have close to 70 reading competencies in this course that must be demonstrated and must be demonstrated and shown through TK20 and must be evaluated through TK20. So I tried to make it easy. You will have a model of what you can use with your students, although the content will vary depending on what you teach. And also, you'll have this to take with you, and you will have one in your TK20 portfolio, okay? And so not only are we modeling what you would be doing, but we are covering your RECs. Okay, I'm going to stop with this part 2. 3.